from Cleveland's most accurate weather team. This is 19 First Alert Plus, sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
And happy Friday to you. Shannon Smith coming to you live from our 19 News Digital Center this morning as we take a live look outside. Cloudy skies moving in. Look at that. Yeah, kind of covering the buildings there, our skyline. But at least it is dry right now. We know that we have been dealing with a lot of wild weather over the last 2 days here across Northeast Ohio, from Wednesday night and from last night. Tornado warnings. We've had down power lines, down trees. We've had a lot of damage that we've been surveying across our area this morning. So let's get right on over to 19 First Alert meteorologist Kelly Dobeck, who's really kind of looking at and surveying some of those storm reports, Kelly.
Yeah, storm reports really from all over the area, Shannon. And, you know, it's good to note that we are severe clear now, clear into the weekend. And I think most, unfortunately, folks' weekends are going to be filled with cleaning up storm damage. I mean, we've got reporters out there already surveying damage, and there's damage out in Geauga County, Cuyahoga County, Lake County. And I mean, some neighborhoods are completely impassable because there's so many trees down and things like that. So I want to zoom in on some of these storm reports to show you this is why the damage was so bad. So this is a wind report. They're talking about greenhouses at an Ohio City farm that got blown off. There was also a report, I'm trying to look for it, this is the one I wanted to show you. Just after midnight, a 75-mile-an-hour wind gust. So a lot of folks are waking up saying, oh, this had to be tornado damage. We did have a tornado warning, and I do think we will come back with at least 1 or 2 confirmed tornadoes based on some of the damage we've seen that's been very isolated. But this widespread damage we're seeing in a lot of these neighborhoods, 75 to 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts can cause just as much, if not more damage than a tornado, EF0, EF1. So that's why we're seeing so much widespread damage, because these winds were so strong. A lot of these straight line winds were so strong. And I know, Shannon, that led to a lot of power outages as well.
Yeah, Kelly, in fact, I want to pull up that power outage map right now. The latest that we've seen, here it is right here. And you see that large area in Cleveland, but you see all across, okay? So that orange color right there, that means that there are at least 5,000 customers without power, that concentrated area. But currently, affected customers, according to the First Energy map, 193,084. Now that has gone down pretty significantly. In fact, I checked around 9 o'clock. It was a little more than 200,000. And overnight, the most we saw of customers impacted with no power, it was up to 280,000. So that is good that crews are really, we know they've been just kind of working through the night. I'm trying to restore power. I know, Kelly, in one area in particular, we were talking this morning, Lorain County, some of them still don't have power from Wednesday night's storm. So, of course, we'll keep you updated on a restoration time, but definitely be patient as crews are just out all across, because you said it's been so widespread what we've seen over last night's storms.
Right, it was widespread, and this was day 2. And the other reason why I think there's a lot of damage too is we're talking about rain, right? Lorain County received half a foot of rainfall between late Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night, and that's more than they see typically in a month. So we got all this rain the day before, right? So that makes the ground super soggy, super saturated. So it's a lot easier, especially when you get wind gusts over 70 miles an hour, for trees and power lines to topple over when the ground is so soggy. So let's talk about what the forecast is going to look like for your cleanup here. We'll go through the weekend. Overall, it is still going to be pretty muggy out there, but look at this. Dry conditions. Dry today, dry tomorrow. Overnight temps will be in the 60s, so if you do lose power, maybe opening up the windows could be an option for you heading into the weekend too. Hopefully, a lot of folks aren't dealing with power outages that long, but just in case, know the weather is going to cooperate. It's going to be really nice for Friday night football tonight too, if you need a moment to get away. I know some schools actually had to cancel, actually a boatload of schools had to cancel across the area today because most likely of storm damage, power outages, flooding damage, and everything like that. So let's take a quick break, and I'll show you what the weekend is looking like.
I've represented families just like yours for over 4 decades. Listen, if you need me, call me. You know I'll be there for you, and I'll make them pay. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye out for you.
What I wanted to say was the weekend the weekend into early next week here, heading into Labor Day weekend, which is next weekend. So cooler trend. We're going to stay humid today and tomorrow, but much cooler. The average high is around 81 degrees this time of year, but we're not going to be anywhere near that the next couple of days. Mid to upper 70s. Overnight temps again, even comfier Sunday night into Monday. Another good couple of nights to open up the windows. We bring back scattered rain chances by the middle part of next week, but overall it's looking a lot quieter. The weather pattern is trending a lot cooler, a lot drier, and that's going to give folks plenty of time to kind of get into the thick of the cleanup process. Now, I will say, looking ahead into Labor Day weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it does look like it's gradually going to start to heat up again. So if you're kind of bummed that it looks like summer disappeared, it's not gone yet. The heat isn't too far behind, but I think we all collectively can have a sigh of relief for this forecast because it gives everybody kind of time to catch their breath, really assess the damage, and clean up. And Shannon, the other thing I want to mention too is thankfully we've been talking all about all the damage that we've seen widespread across everywhere. But so far, we haven't heard of any injuries, which I think is really, really amazing. We saw that church that was destroyed. We had one woman who goes to the church was really emotional, talking about how she's thankful kids weren't in it at the time. So usually we're pretty scared of overnight severe weather, but some of the buildings that were damaged the worst were a factory in Warrensville Heights and that church. And those were actually places that were, thankfully unoccupied at the time, which I think it could have been a lot worse if there were people in a lot of those buildings.
Absolutely, yeah, Kelly, that is truly the point. And yeah, that was at 9 o'clock. Our 19's Noel Williams, our 19's Vic Gideon, they have been out everywhere this morning assessing that damage. And yeah, it was the pastor that she spoke to, and she said that building is probably like a century old almost, and they just replaced that roof back in 2019. So it is unfortunate to see that damage, but thankfully, like you said, across the area, we have not heard of anyone being hurt. So that is good. So thank you to 19 First Alert meteorologist Kelly Dobeck as we take another quick look at this 7-day, but you see that really in the 70s, and I know they've been saying kind of below average temperatures, but let's go ahead and take another live look outside. It looks really gloomy, I know, for a Friday, but we are dry right now, and we will be dry hopefully for the rest of the day. I know Jeff Tanchek at 9 o'clock said we might see a little bit of sun a little bit later. It won't be a whole lot, but at least, like Kelly said, we can all collectively breathe a sigh of relief that it's no rain in the forecast over the next few days, because Northeast Ohio has just been slammed with heavy rain and winds really the last 2 nights, and a lot of people couldn't even recover from Wednesday night storms before, of course, that wind and rain swept through our area overnight as well. And what's interesting too is Jeff was saying, in fact, our chief meteorologist Jason Nicholas and also 19 First Alert meteorologist Jeff Tanchek, they were on the air late overnight up until about 1 o'clock. And they were saying how that storm that moves through, it moves through so quick in just about an hour. So all the damage that we're seeing, unfortunately, across our area, that happened in only about an hour time, from midnight to 1 a.m. So really, it's good that it is going to be dry today. And unfortunately, yeah, a lot of people may be using the weekend to clean up. We also do have, if you have any damage in your area, you want to share some pictures or video and can do so safely, you can send those pictures in to us, as we do have some crews kind of going through our area today on 19 News Today. So make sure, if you want to, you can submit those pictures and videos to us through our website, cleveland19.com. And I'm actually just looking at the outage map right here. I'll go back to it, the power outage map. Currently, that number just went down now to 189,768 customers still without power. That is a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. However, that number has gone down significantly since the overnight hours, when it was about 280,000, more than 280,000 customers without power. So crews are still working. They're working hard. They've been working hard throughout the night and obviously throughout the day, and maybe even through the weekend, to try to restore power to so many areas. So make sure that you keep it here with us on 19 News throughout the day. Also, make sure you download that free 19 First Alert weather app. Although it's dry, and Jeff made this point today, we're always looking at the next big thing, and we're always first to alert you on things. That's not necessarily always severe weather. It can be the dry spell that's coming through. It can be the cooler temperatures that we're going to see over the next few days and even into next week. So make sure that you stay up to date with the latest and most accurate forecast here in Cleveland with our 19 First Alert Weather app. We will see you back on the air for the 19 News at 11 on the CW43 and also at noon for 19 News at noon on CBS. For now, I'm Shannon Smith. Have a great and safe weekend.
19